All right, welcome back, everybody. It is time for 10 Minutes of Giro. I am here, Patrick Ramirez, and everyone's favorite blue light special, Dan Dowling, is here as well. We're going to talk stages 16 and 17 in the Giro. Dan, all right, the Giro's wrapped up, right?
Yes.
So, still fun?
Yep.
Still, what's the motivation scale to watch these last few stages?
So it's still fun because one, there's we got some good just Italian bureaucratic drama for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some fun little attacks going on and some stage ones up for grabs. And you're seeing some interesting people come through. And I guess there's some minor placings battles to watch, and then also just to see how casual Tade can be as he's eviscerating everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, it feels like we're doing homework for the tour.
Yeah, I was gonna say something similar. If you were to say like, Tade, lay out your plan before the Giro, and then we went back and checked it after the Giro, I would say he hit every single box minus the one little tumble he had in stage 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I would say he hit everything because this is a total dress rehearsal for the tour, and it's gone very according to plan. Like, what are we watching for? Second and third? Is anyone chasing any jerseys? The points are wrapped up, barring the stage 16 stuff. This Giro has gone perfectly according to plan as far as Tade's plan, rate stages, variety. Like, there's been some fun stuff. We haven't had controversies. We had some in 16, but we haven't had like the sprint stage where the two sprinters are arguing about relegation. We haven't had a fan run. Like, we haven't had anything really to really like drive our interest beyond the race as well. But I think if we look back on this, I think we'll say like, wow, look at Pogacar's level. Because today, I don't know if he was bored or what, but he just left the group and decided to ride by himself off the front for 45 seconds. It didn't look like he was even breathing hard.
No.
Did you notice that too? It's like, is he bored? I'll just ride off the front. Or did he was like, I'm going to get out of this group real quick.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, he was wearing a backpack at one point, I'm pretty sure. He's like, I can keep this on. Like, I think we can get some groceries.
Even the stage 16 controversy when they're interviewing riders before and they're like, should we race, not race, protest, cut the stage? He was like, well, if they make us race, I don't care. He didn't really seem to be that opinionated about it either. I don't know what's going on in this guy's head, but he is on another level. And like, if we're going back to Lance days where every great performance you have to say like, okay, what's going on with this guy? This is not normal. Is there doping? Does he have a motor in his bike? If he has a motor in his bike, he's doing the worst job of trying to keep it under wraps because he just kills everybody. He would beat everybody by 10 seconds. No, he beats everybody without even breaking a sweat. So I say this is a really awesome performance, and it's just the beginning because the tour is now upon us. It's official countdown time to the start of the tour.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, let's get into the stages, and I'm going to share some more thoughts and theories on Tade.
All right, well, let's do it then, Dan. Stages 16 and 17. Let's put 10 minutes on the clock, and let's begin. You want to kick us off the 10 minutes?
Yeah, let's do it. We're talking stages 16 and 17. The stages Patrick likes like he likes his women. Starting now.
How do I like my women, Dan?
Ages 16 and 17.
Oh, ages. I thought you were going to say gray and damp.
No,
we'll start the 10 minutes over.
Should we edit that out? All right. Start now. 10 minutes on the clock.
All right, start it again. 10 minutes.
Ring it, Patty. I shouldn't do this, Patrick. I am not good at this part.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Give me your thoughts on stage 16 because it started off. Yeah, this was the controversy we were all waiting for. Probably my least favorite of all controversies when writers and organizers have to come to some sort of decision. I turn on the coverage And it was a good hour 40 before we even got to a race, because it was full on like the GCN reporters, the Eurosport were like running around like war correspondents. And they're just
Yeah.
trying to grab a quote, and they're like, Luke Plapp, what do you think? Oh, Caruso's popping his head out of the van.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like they this is my secret gripe with sports interviews, writers, directors. They never answer a question.
Right.
One of the reporters asks, it's raining here. You got 2 climbs. There's snow at the top. You've met with the organizers. I think this was one of the directors of Visma that a reporter asked, like, what would you like to see happen? And he just goes, of course, it's best for a rider that we have the safety. If we cannot come to a decision, then it's really good for, Ray, but it's not so good. Like, he never, like, give me your answer. Like, what do you want to see happen? Oh, It drives me crazy when people won't answer a question. And I came up with, to my knowledge, we had 3 options going in this race. We had option number 1, cut out the first 2 climbs. Option number 2 was ride up the climb and then take the cars down. And then option number 3 was ride the 15 kilometers neutral and then get in the cars. We ended up going with option number 1, which I think was the best. Did you see any other way around this bad weather?
No, but I mean, I would have liked to no, I don't. I mean,
Do you think they made the
like,
right decision?
I feel like they should have allowed for non-sponsor accurate clothing and just let people bundle up.
Yeah, what else
And I
could
thought
they
that
have
would have been
done?
fun.
Like, could we roll with just a big old
Suits.
tarp over 150 riders? Is that
Yeah,
possible?
totally.
Give it a shot, right?
We got a blow dryer and all that. I don't know. I mean, it was a mess, and just because it's like, why didn't they have all this figured out beforehand? Like, it's not
Yeah.
crazy. And it seemed like at one point they talked to I think he might be the main race organizer, an older Italian gentleman who is pretty adamant about this is bullshit. They should be doing what we want them to do. But like, it seemed like their big concern was like the little town they were starting in. Like, come on, they put up all these posters, guys. We got to start here. Like,
They hung a banner.
yeah,
Everybody.
look at this. The
Well,
soup's getting cold. What are we doing? Yeah.
It seems that from my investigating that a decision had been come to a couple days before. Like, we knew this weather was in the forecast, and they decided on this plan. And in the day of, the organizers flipped and said, no, we're doing this.
Not that bad.
I mean, this is according to writers. So we don't know what happened in that room. And then I'm reading like everybody's angry tweets. And like one writer was like, total clown show. And they use like the little clown emoji, which, by the way, I think hurts your point when you're using emojis to display anger. Because now I got to look close at it. I'm like, is that what? Oh, that's a clown. Got it. So yeah, you're right. I think the crux of it all was this town and the sponsorship, but it's May. We're in the mountains of Italy. This is going to happen again. Why is this a surprise? We're going to argue this over and over and over again to the end of time, as long as we have mountain stages in May.
And honestly, I kind of think too, and part of it is like, just I don't know, like the same reason I'm kind of into like more gravel being incorporated into road racing. Like, I kind of think they should race through inclement weather, provided there's at least safeguards in terms of, if there's ice on the road or something like that, or, a bunch of off-camber turns in the rain where it's just like literally too much. But it seemed like the main concern here was body temperature, like, keeping the riders warm enough, which is obviously a big concern, but I also think it's something that can sort of be combated through equipment choice a little bit, and be somewhat of a different strategic element of racing. And also, and honestly, favor certain riders. It's like certain riders are better in the cold, and certain riders are really good in the rain. So to the extent like here, there seem to have been. Oh, excuse me, one moment there.
Oh, Dan's got a call from
I
the
know, I literally do.
UCI. They heard you, Dan.
Yeah, they're like, no way.
Hey, why you talk about us on 10 Minutes of Giro? We watch,
But I don't know.
Well,
I
what
guess
else could they have done? Like, you saw those images. There was no way you could safely race in those conditions. They had Alberto Contador on top of the mountain. It was full on snowing on him. He was like, get me out of here.
haven't you seen like the pictures of those guys in Minneapolis though who ride in the winter? It's like
those guys are sick, Dan.
You grow a beard, man. Like
no one had beards though, Dan. You can't ask riders to grow a beard.
We have climbing specialists, we have sprint specialists, we have beard specialists now.
Yeah, I had no problem with it because we know this is going to happen. We're going to have weather, so you got to have a contingency plan to negate these climbs.
They should either just not have them when they're going to be, when it's reasonably foreseeable that it's going to be like that, and just plan the route accordingly. Like, don't go up there.
Which seems like they did, and then the beef.
Or be like, hey, this is part of our racing, and we're gonna do all these special things. Like, there's gonna be a special neutral period. Like, I think one time they proposed like there was gonna be a neutral zone where people could change into clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
obviously, I don't want to see people sliding off the road and stuff like that because of slick surfaces. But in terms of it just being a cold issue. I wonder if
I think it was the wet. Yeah, the cold is one thing. I think the wet was the concern because even if they neutralized at the top, like now you've got to change clothes. Just logistically, getting all the cars to the top would have been difficult.
Maybe that's it. It's like, I think about like Formula One with their pit stops and their tire choices, and that's very strategic when they come in and do that. Maybe it's just too difficult with 180 riders.
I think that was the main. I was like, we just cannot physically do this. We can't change clothes at the top. I think the call was correct to get rid of the first climbs, shortens the stage to 118 kilometers. That doesn't stop Alaphilippe though.
No,
because he had the face on today.
Oh, he loved it. Yeah.
He loved it. He's sticking his tongue out. He's shaking his face. He was like, ugh.
He was like, damn it, I knew I should have grown the full beard. He was totally down.
And then we have some of the oddest Movistar tactics I've ever seen, which maybe we shouldn't be surprised by Movistar doing crazy stuff anymore. I wrote down 3 beats of it. Movistar started pacing pretty much from the start. I don't know why. Maybe it was like, we want to be in the front. We want to be out of trouble. Maybe like, we want to warm up. We want to ride hard at the front. And then Sanchez attacks. His own team chases him down. He comes back into the group, gets a mechanical, gets off the bike. What the hell was going on with Movistar? Insane. Like, no one could really piece it together. The broadcast was like, I'm not sure what they're doing. Horner is like, I don't know what Movistar is doing. I did not get them at all. And
new level of knuckle. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't get that one at all. It was nuts. And then Pogačar wins, and he had an odd clothing assortment.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah. He by my recollection, he had short sleeves, leg warmers, shoe covers, and a neck warmer. I never seen that combination before of clothing.
I'm actually just going to change it, and I think he just rides in black skinny jeans now. He's just like, this is.
It looked like he was wearing sweatpants.
He's like, I'm going to my joggers now. That's what he looked like. And honestly, I think this has been my whole theory. So Slovenia, it wasn't part of the Soviet Union, but I looked it up. It was part of the Soviet Federation of Yugoslavia. So that whole sort of, Eastern Soviet bloc of states. And, these guys that have barbecues in sub-zero temperatures, I feel like was just like that was like your childhood birthday memories. So I feel like he's fun. That's why I feel like Tadej was like, yeah, we could do this. It's cool. Like,
he didn't seem to care.
This is what it was like. This is,
Yeah. And then he gave his jersey, like Pogačar is like becoming ultimate nice guy at the peloton. He gives his pink jersey to the guy who gets second.
Oh, did he? He gave it to George?
Yeah, he gave it to him and like gives him a hug. And he's like, I was like, Pogačar is just the nicest guy ever in this group.
Yeah, he is the nicest guy.
Unbelievable guy now. His stock is going way up having done this Giro.
But
Stage
that said,
17 now. Oh, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say that's why I'm saying the dark horse in the tour could be the heat. Is it gonna be we're gonna have a hot Tade summer? That's gonna be tough.
Interesting. I have another question for you about that
Mm-hmm.
later. Stage 17, still rain, but much less. Jan Ulrich's cousin. I mean, what is he? Oh, quick trivia. Do you know how he's related to Jan Ulrich? Do you know the association?
Well, technically, I believe is a nephew, right?
Yes, he's his nephew, but do you know where the association lies?
I can only assume that through a Ulrichian night of partying in the 90s post Kraftwerk concert, there was some sort of romantic rendezvous that somehow resulted in the steps of George being born.
Interesting. Wow, that's a long way to go for that one.
Yeah.
Get a real Pelican brief
Mm-hmm.
of association. His
We're editing out a lot of my commentary this episode.
his father,
Yeah.
sister married Jan Ulrich, so he's not actually blood related to Jan Ulrich.
Oh.
Yeah, his father was a pro cyclist, as I found out today. Great stage for him. Great Giro for him. That's his first professional win.
Well, I believe
today.
they are. I understand they're sweat related though.
That could be true. Oh,
yeah,
all right.
You know, the German ritual of East Berlin rave. You do go dance with your uncle for about 12 hours. And,
wow.
The commingling of sweat fluids does create a genetic bond.
Wow. Dan, I don't use the term super race very often, but you might have nailed it of how it actually occurs.
Yes.
Sweat.
Right. And then at the end of it, you're bestowed with your golden hoop earring.
Pogacar just rode away from the group today.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Still no attack from Thomas. Daniel Martinez tried a little bit. And then, you know what the weird thing, going back to stage 16, the teammate of Thomas, what's his name? Asservin?
Yeah. Something like
I didn't get what he was doing. Arnsman. Yeah, I didn't get what he was doing yesterday because he dropped his own guy Thomas yesterday. And then today he got dropped. So I didn't quite understand what their tactic was, what the roles on the team was. Ineos may have said, go ahead, do your own race, because I think he's riding for the white jersey.
I think everyone's just cold and confused. And they're like,
everyone's confused. We don't know what the hell's going on.
And Tade's like, I'm kind of hot. Like,
yeah.
Who wants my jersey?
Yeah. Does anybody want my jersey? Does anybody want my sweatpants? Yeah. I got a lot of sweatpants. I'm willing to give them away. So it's weird that this was like the most like skippable stage today. I was like, let someone else win. That's cool. Pogacar, you get second.
Right.
It's kind of rainy, but we'll still have the stage, and then we'll wrap it up this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to see, young George, though, obviously very thrilled. Mm-hmm. And we got EF getting
good secondary story.
Was that EF's first stage win or second
ever?
No, on the Giro. Has EF won stage already?
Of the Giro, I don't believe so.
What team is Narvaez on again? Oh, he's on
Ineos. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that's one of the like tertiary. Is that even a word? Third degree storylines I'm following is the whole Narvaez Carapaz drama. Have you been following this?
Oh, really? All right. Well, we're already out of the 10 minutes, so let's tackle this.
Okay, that's coming in then.
All right. So now we got Narvaez Carapaz drama.
Yeah.
What
big drama?
Where is Carapaz now? I don't even know.
He's doing tour prep, I'm assuming.
But what team is he on? Is he Ineos or somewhere else?
Good question. Where is he?
But they're having drama.
Ineos. That's
Ineos, crazy. I think, has 5 GC potential leaders going to the tour. I don't know how this is going to possibly work.
No, Carapaz is on EF.
Carapaz is on EF. Okay.
Yeah.
And
the big
controversy is
Ineos. And Narvaez they're both Ecuadorian. Olympics coming up. Ecuador only has one spot for a cyclist. Carapaz, the defending champion, was passed over in favor of Narvaez.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
Carapaz is pissed. He's like going very public with it. And Narvaez is trying to it's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, it kind of sucks. I don't get it. It's like,
yeah, the defending champion should get a de facto automatic in, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean,
like, hey man, let me defend my belt.
No, yeah, I mean, I hear like, yeah, it's like, okay, Narvaez, you only get, it's like Olympics is so rare that it's, I can kind of see it both ways. It's like we got to give someone else a chance, but yeah, he freaking won the gold medal last time,
Yeah, I'm
and
on Team Carapaz on this one. Like, you got
yeah,
to let me in or bump someone out. Or does Ecuador only have 2 spots in the
no, they only
Olympics?
have one. They have one spot.
Oh, why Navarez? Why give it to him?
I guess because he's just doing a little bit better this year. They think he's in better form, which is,
Hmm.
I mean, it's not an
Wow.
unreasonable pick, but like,
Corruption in a South American government? That's not the South America I know, Dan.
yeah, it's yeah. Tell me about it.
Oh my God. Oh, I got to keep an eye on this. Also, the Olympics is having somewhat an effect on the tour this year because the tour doesn't end in Paris this year. And the final stage is a time trial this year at the
Oh,
tour. Yeah, which is kind of weird because if it's, down, if it's real close, I mean, this is a true defining ending stage. But the other funny part of a time trial being the last stage of any Grand Tour, if you're way out of the GC, what the hell? I would take over 2 hours in my time trial. I would be high-fiving everybody
yeah.
in the crowd. I'd be doing wheelies. I'd be going backwards on the course. Like, I'm milking
Oh,
this stage.
yeah, I would definitely be hamming it. I am pissed drunk by the end of that time trial.
Yeah, I'm drinking
Just
beers. I'm having a good time. Like, what is there a time cut? All right, well, what is it? It's got to
I'm
be a lot. I'll just make the time cut. Or even if I don't, that would be the most epic
even
not
better.
making of the time
Yeah,
cut.
right.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they envision this quite. It's gonna be fun though. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, someone who's doing the tour this year Patrick will bail you out. We want you to get drunk, get in a fight, end in jail. Is what we're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
in that order.
And Patrick, deep
I'll
pocket.
bail you out
He will
from a jail in France.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm here to bail you out. We made the deal on the show, so I got to do it.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly.
What team is most likely to have that? Someone get drunk in a fight and get thrown in jail? Probably Movistar.
Yeah, probably.
Movistar. And the fight is going to be within the own team. Like, they're
Right.
Gonna be punching
Could
each
be
other.
Carapaz and Narvaez. Yeah. This.
Two Movistar guys like catch each other like on the course, and then they start arguing and they're
Yeah.
full on fight.
It's
on the
movie
TT
star.
court.
No, it's Movistar.
It's Movistar. It's like, hey, Movistar, wrap it up.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we have any party boys in the peloton right now? I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna have to research this. There's got to be some.
you
There's got
remember
to be a few.
the Tom Boone and Tour of California days?
Right. They're gonna take this seriously for at least all the stages until the TT.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you're like a crowd on the course of the final stage of the TT, like, you got to have a beer tent or something kind of funny for the riders to potentially interact with you on the course.
yeah,
I mean, that you got to do that. That's going to be great. Like, have hot dogs, like a little tailgate thing going. See if you can get a rider to take a hot dog or a beer. Like, there's could be some fun stuff here having it be the last stage.
If you're not vaping on a bike
Mm.
in the tour, you're doing it wrong.
You heard it here, folks. All right, stage 18 is tomorrow. It's a super flat, 178-kilometer stage. It's got Milan written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
However, he's wrapped up the points, so maybe somebody gets in there. Like, who's been his rival? Melier, I guess. This year, I have no doubt Gaviria on Movistar is going to launch too early and go for the sprint.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go Milan and Melier 1-2, but maybe not in that order. I could see Melier snagging it because we still have Saturday and the weekend to go.
I'm gonna go for a random domestic team sprinter. I'm assuming there is one in the race. They can't all be just breakaway guys. And
What about a two-door guy? Surprise!
yeah, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah. There's
like
a two-door
people-
guy who's hung in the mountains the last 2 days, like in the last group. So
Oh, he's hung?
He's hung with like 2Ks to go. I'm like, that's pretty impressive for this non-world tour team to hang with a Pogačar group.
Wait, just to clarify, you mean he's got a big old dick?
Yeah. Well, what were you talking about, Dan?
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were like he's hanging out. Like
He calls himself his own 10 minutes of Giro. You know
that
what
guy
I mean?
who's the hung guy in the mountains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll cut all this out too, Dan. All right, Dan. Ready to start the show?
Yeah. This is for a Giro After Dark segment.
Oh yeah, Giro After Dark.
Yeah.
There we go. The Red Shoe Diaries of Giro. No one has that, Dan. It could be us.
No. Yeah.
All right, let me check out the stages here. We got stage 18, super flat. Hold on, stage 19. What's 19 look like? I forgot. Like, I thought the Giro was kind of over tomorrow, but it's not. Stage 19 is hilly with a couple of climbs at the end of it, but it's not a mountain. It's labeled as a medium mountain day. And then, let's see, that puts us to stage 20. Stage 20 is another mountain day. Oh, great. So Pogacar is totally going to be ahead by 15 minutes by the end of this Giro. And in the very last day, let's take a look. That should be a flat day, I would think. Yeah, totally flat. 125 Ks. That's going to be the fun ride around with a box of pizza day. So that'll be a fun time. So it's not over, but look, I don't see anybody rivaling. I don't even know if Geraint Thomas and Danny Martinez is something that I'm particularly interested in watching. And be like, oh, it's Danny Martinez has got to get second. Thomas has got to get second. Because remember we said a few days ago, like, hey, if it wasn't for Pogacar, this would be a pretty good race for Martinez and Thomas. Now I'm thinking, I bet it wouldn't. I bet it would be boring. They would just look at each other all stage long.
Yeah.
Maybe I was wrong in that one.
It would be the second steal. Like, I'm going to do a few seconds here and there. And then, no, you're right.
Yeah. I really am going to hope that Thomas tries for something crazy just to do it, just to shake it up a little. It's like, I'm getting the break. I'm going for it. Like, let's see what happens. Like Alaphilippe style, or remember that year Chris Froome did it and won the Giro from that crazy 80-kilometer break? I don't think he's going to beat Pogacar, but make it exciting.
No, I'd like to see something. Yeah, something. Do something.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's hope for something that isn't Alaphilippe making faces.
I will settle for that though too. I mean,
okay, I like that too. He can be in the group too.
Yeah, shaking it out.
He was shaking out, so just sticking his tongue out. I swear he looks for the camera, and when he sees it's on him, then he starts. He's like, all right, somebody watching me?
Yeah, he knows. He knows.
Alaphilippe. We need him. All right, that brings us to you know what, Dan.
That's right.
The Dan Dowling image of the day.
You and this is let's see here. You're familiar with this one, I will say. But let's.
Oh yeah, you need some explaining for this. I need to know what your thoughts are on this one. What is this we're looking at?
Do that. So this is from my man Jonathan, who, by the way, love the spelling. I don't know why this is, but it happens in some Latin American countries. The name Jonathan is spelled Jhon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And occasionally it's spelled Yon, which I understand more. I'm understanding Spanish a little bit more, but I don't get the JHO spelling. But anyway, my boy, Jonathan Narvaez. This is him in the rain delay yesterday. Just hotboxing, bro. Just hotboxing using his buddy's Kia here. He put on some Manu Chao. He's like, bro, let's go old school. Manu Chao. We're listening to oldies here. And
so this is Narvaez in the team car of Ineos, trying to pass the time because we're on a rain delay, and he's got some tunes, and this is a shot of the dashboard of what music he's playing.
Yeah, his parents studied abroad in Spain in 2000 and got a Manu Chao CD, and he found it when he was in high school, and that's just what he does now. And I think this is a very niche joke. I find very entertaining. Maybe it's just because I listened to Manu Chao so much 20 years ago. But yeah, once again, proving my theory that this next generation of riders just loves to blaze a trail.
Wow. That's what you think's going on in that car, huh?
And when I spell that out, the T is a marijuana leaf that looks like a T. Blaze a
trail. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's definitely. Remember back in the day, in the college years, where any way you could associate weed smoking into a word or phrase was a big deal.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, 420, dude.
Yeah,
it was anything you had. You try to get a chuckle out of your buddies. Interesting image.
It's a good way to pass the time, and that's what they did.
Right. That seemed like the worst. Just waiting for a decision on if you're going to ride a bike race or not in the rain in a car. Should we go out there? Yeah, it looks like they're talking. Just wait 5 minutes. It looked excruciating just waiting for a decision of whether they're going to ride or not in this horrible weather.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It looked like it was pretty boring for everybody.
Yeah, and like we've done plenty of racing. Why not cut it short? Like, why are we really missing out on more racing? So, like, let's just go. Let's just go to the bottom of the next climb and start there.
I will have to pitch this later because we're out of time. But I have
teaser.
Yeah, the Tour de Blunts, which I will be pitching.
Tour de Blunts.
Yeah. Everyone has to smoke a pre-roll from a reputable company beforehand, and then do things, and it's cool.
Wow, Dan, way to sell it. You got to do things. It's cool.
But like, it doesn't even really matter with you.
What time does it start? Whenever.
Probably in the late afternoon. It's just like at El Dorado Park. Like, it's mostly on the grass.
Behind a bush.
Yeah.
And at some point, someone has to yell out, "Cops, cops, cops!" And everybody has to scatter. Like, that would be its own jersey. Like, who best scatterer?
Be cool, everyone. I'll talk to them. Okay, Jan.
Right. Everybody maintain. Everybody maintain.
Yeah.
You got to have that.
Rad.
Well, this has been the most exciting 10 minutes of Giro the whole tour.
Right. Most disturbing Matt Gates related comments on my part. Oh, I should have explained that. Yeah, I was trying to make a joke that you were Matt Gates' campaign manager, and hence the whole 16 and 17 thing. But,
wow.
But we're not getting into politics here, Patrick.
Wow,
I'll just let you do what you want to do.
In our next episode, we will reveal who we're voting for. All right, Dan, we got one more episode to go this Sunday when the Giro wraps up. I hope you're ready, Dan.
Oh, it's going to be special. We're going to make it special.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday. See you, Dan.
Ma si beve whisky and soda, o ti senti disturbato?